Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Friday, January 10th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with this one. Too close to call. That's the way I'm going to start this. We did close below the descending channel top that is now at 140.73. We closed just below the rising channel bottom that today, that is Friday, is at 141.65. This is about a 1 point range, maybe 90 cents roughly. I'll let you do the math. So it can spring back. It wouldn't take much for us to close above 141.65. If we close today, Friday, above 141.65, that is also on the weekly chart above 141.36. Thus maintaining the buy signal that can, over the coming weeks, yield 168.82. So, if we close today above 141.36, and yes, I do have it on the daily chart at 141.65. So the higher we close, obviously, the greater the affirming of the buy signal. That's still technically intact, believe it or not. But by a hair. I mean, we could easily continue south here, and I do recognize that. I am not trying to convince you to be overly enthusiastic about being a long position here, because it can fall apart, and we can fall back into the mid to upper 120s by the end of next week with present volatility. If we close today below 140.73, no good reason to be long NVIDIA as we continue through next week. I think by the end of next week, within 2 weeks at the most, the 126.98 to 127.93 area. You can see a very well formed horizontal channel bottom at 126.98 and a longer term 5-month channel bottom at 127.93. This area in reach by the end of next week if we close today below 140.73. And if we close lower on the day, I mean, we've got kind of a double settlement price here, right around 140.11. I don't know what the official close is. We usually go to press, so to speak, within 10-15 minutes of the closing bell. But if we close below 140.73, I'm just going to keep it simple. I would expect the 126.98 to 127.93 area within a week or two. On the way down today, that 137.80 inside channel structure offered decent play yesterday. We could trade inside of here, I don't know, for the first 15 minutes, for the first couple of hours. It's hard to say of the trading day on Friday. Breaking 137.80 does indicate the likelihood that we will close today below the 140.73 formation. So, if you want to play the short side, 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week swing traders with a violation intraday below 137.80, I don't have a problem with that, anticipating then 126.98 to 127.93 within a week or two. This would, of course, also assume that we do settle the day below 140.73. And I think that kind of covers the downside pretty well. Now for the upside, if we happen to push through or open above that 3-week channel bottom at 141.65, and let me just say that regardless of 140.73, I would still say that it was too close to call on, Wednesday settlement below this area. It is just too close to call. We could easily spring back, open above perhaps 141.65, test 145.35 intraday. That can contain intraday buying pressures. And then if we happen to push through 145.35, 149.43 is in reach, both of which can contain solid intraday activity. But if we do happen to close today above 141.65, I do expect by the end of next week or sooner with present volatility, a retest of the 152.89 high. There's a double top here. I'm not a big fan of selling double tops because the triple tops are much rarer than the double top. So, just be careful. I think you can exit a long position at 152.89, at least take some profits. But being an aggressive short seller there, I think especially given the fact that I still, I do want to see the market close above 141.65 today for affirming a buy signal that played out 3 or 4 days ago, anticipating the 168.82 formation over the next couple of months. So I do want to see us close today above that 141.65 level, no doubt about it. If we don't close above 140.65, and if we do close below 140.73, I would expect once again a bearish continuation over the next week or two into the 126.98 to 127.93 region. But if we can close above 141.65, I see 152.89 likely within 3 to 5 days. We could take that out by the end of next week. And by the end of next week, within a full week from now, this 168.82 formation could look quite likely by the end of February or sooner, especially if we can close today above 141.36, which would also be above, of course, 141.65. So over the far right, you see the area. It's about 90 cents. Closing below it, I do think we can fall into the 126.98 region by the end of next week, perhaps. And if we can close above 141.65, I do see over the next, 3 to 5 weeks, by the end of February, perhaps. Where are you? The rising channel top that we have at 168.82. I think it's about as simple as that. I don't know what else there is to say beyond what I already have, and I think I'm just going to leave it at that for Friday's NVIDIA. By the way, if you're still listening, this week we put out 2 stock picks on Coca-Cola and Micron. You could see them for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You can check it all out. Weekly NASDAQ 100, daily triple Q. You want to check that out right now. We're at a precipice of a big, how should I put it? The buy signal in the NASDAQ 100 and triple Q are intact, but by a thread. And I think you really want to see when it is the triple Q could fall apart through the rest of the first quarter to the downside. Hasn't happened yet, and I'm not expecting it, but I give you the exact precise point that if we settle below, would set that up as a likely downside sort of price erosion. Collapse is probably a better word. We're not there yet. We are still in the midst of a long-term buy signal, testing long-term support. Can we spring off of it from here as we move into February or March, or will we post a meaningful sell signal? That will definitely have implications for NVIDIA. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's NVIDIA report. You have a great weekend.